Top Monolith, my name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Deku, or should I say Zuku, was a monster. Like, basically, so, in this What If, sometimes I throw some random overpowered stuff at them. So, let's begin with long time ago, when the world was monsters, or like basically the world was full of monsters, like full of these, 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 full of these. But a variety. But one by one, two by two, they all got slaughtered. And a world was now ruled by humans. Some even have quirks that keeps the peace from those monsters. They end up killing most of the monsters off. Some of them are so scary. Even our strongest pro heroes like All Might sometimes gets scared. They are bigger than a sharks, or like whales, or some of them are bigger than whales. Some of them are bigger than every building stacked. Some are smaller than others. So, but then the worshippers, some of them were ruled by like some worshippers banished this evil all creatures. And so, but now Inko was part of their thing, or worship. So, but she met her knight, basically, that from the same one. His name was Horikoshi. So, Zuko, and now, after they got married, and basically, Inko gave birth to two kids. One was Zumi. Where is she? One was Zumi. Kind heart. And her brother was basically what I said. And her brother is like more cute and calm. So basically, Inko, who decides to get rid of Zuko before he becomes a greater threat to humanity. So, Inko, who got rid of poor Zuko, and when he reached 14, or no, 4, he was not just or actually, when Inko got rid of Zuko, a monster basically him came and saved Zuko and taught him how to survive. And then when he hit age of 4, he becomes the most, or his body could handle every power that's been given by his adopted parents. And he trained harder than anyone. He couldn't make his body into, like, the most powerfulest one. Heck, when he was the same. So when he was like, alright. As he also, when he was, or actually, during that rescue thing, between all three, him, them, him, and that creature. So basically, Zuko, whose spirit thing was so good, and he did care about humans. So he now evolved into a beast. When he's now, or it's a time skip, so 15. This is his 15-year-old. As he, or when he was 4, no, they're like, we haven't seen any monsters today, or between pro heroes, like MT Lady. He was even asking, we haven't seen too many monsters recently. That's weird. But the villains, and it's just so weird. Like, I thought it was gonna be too powerful. As then when Zuko, of course, Principal Nezu, who even notices, like, maybe you're right. There hasn't been too many monster sightings recently. Maybe they, or as tree or root guy said, or tree guy says, maybe they all went into hiding and realized that they're too weak for us. as Zuko was, or this is supposed to be a, like, what if Deku was a king of monsters kind. So they all three of them took care of Zuko, like trained him to how to survive. And so one day, or actually it or actually he developed a quirk called self-revival. Basically him coming right back from the dead at kind. So, but no one knew it, that he has a self-revival quirk. So he evolved when, and plus he has instant regeneration with it too. So he also gained, or for his 15-year-old form, he also gained the attributes of doll manipulation, so that when he comes, or that's why there's two of those, like, of those creepy doll things. And so, sorry, my snot decided to go onto my phone. Sorry. So, then he because they gave him a lot of money, and both dolls that I said had two different personalities of Zuko's. One was basically millionaires, Zuko, and the other is just, I was trying to figure out the name for him, but he is like the counterpart to the villains. So basically, he's the opposite to Hero Killer Stain. He is called Villain Killer Spot. That's what I'll just say. And they have their own powers of Zuko kindness. Like, basically, he has most overpowered quirks in the entire world, similar to his. So, now, moving on to, switch to Zumi. So, Zumi was basically did the internship thing. She is, or it's similar to canon, but it was Zumi, not Zuko this time. So the Zumi got One for All from All Might. And she ends up because she doesn't even know her own brother. So let's get to when Zuko, or actually Nezu told Zuko to come in, as Zuko said, or actually, he says, I will. Oh, because so he comes in and, or actually, the doctor asked him in. So he came in and he says, well, Zuko, it seems like you have a unique quirks that has developed in your body. One of them, I could tell that, or he says, I can tell that you have self-revival quirk. Basically, you can bring yourself back from the dead. And as he says, yep, call me Undead Zuko. So, it was the doll versions. And before I go into it, Zuko in his monster form is actually used shadow manipulation to actually possess one of his dolls. So he speaks more clearer, like instead of having to have three heads going all at once, or like simultaneously, like we will destroy you kind. Like I was trying to do like a three-headed creature speaking one letter. So he, when the doctor looked at him, he had like what that anime is. So basically, his instead of purple, it was green. So then now, all for one, or actually, he says that's okay now. As he leaves, as he tells All for One that there's a powerful thing. So, at the camp, Bakugo got kidnapped, and because Bakugo and Zumi was so close to each other's. Basically, aka, they are like loving on each other's. They don't even know it. So, then, after he got kidnapped and All Might battled against All for One, All Might lost, but as All for One says, it's time for you to die. As they hear in the background laughter, like, it's as he says, or a voice came out of nowhere and says, as it seems like you can't take care of your own. I see. Let me take over from here. Just let me do all of that. Of course, during that hero killer stains fight thing, that version of Zuko actually basically put him in behind bars real quick. As he says, I'm villain killer Spot, if you want to know. As he so now back to All for One's fight. So All for One turns and looks at the Zuko like, huh, you're pretty powerful, Zuko. As he's grinning like, saying, huh, well, are you here to save your comrade or something like that? Or your favorite idol? As he says, yes, but if you are gonna be killed by me. Or as he looks at All Might and says, I know heroes never kill, but see that I'm not a hero, or I'm more of the anti-hero. I will kill him for you. As he does like the same thing. Basically, he evolved his body into, as he says, I'm going to show my true colors. As he basically showed them his true monstrous form and starts attacking All for One. All for One has that big arm and charges up and was gonna punch Zuko, but one of his hands, or Zuko's hands, and just grabbed, and like how, let me show you. One piece. Ooh, ooh, e. Basically, I'm trying to find a picture of him. Basically, like, you know how, like, that scene where he stopped a attack? Like that? Basically, Zuko did that. As it shocks everybody. As he says, my turn. As he used his other fist, came out of nowhere and hits All for One right in the chest and sending him flying. As he says, now we will kill you. As he turns his fingers into blades. As he basically stabbed him. He basically stabbed All for One right in the chest until a point of, as he says, now, time for you to die. Because it pierced through his quirk and his heart. Basically, like a mortal spear just came out of nowhere and killed All for One. All for One died, or like faded away, but his body transformed into a soul. Like that kind of soul. As Zuko grabs it, and you've seen Soul Eater. How Soul, or spoilers, Soul who eats the soul, or like that evil soul. Basically like that, as he crunches on his, swallows him whole, as he's like, that's nutritious. As he gets up, or like, or he lifts his head, he looks at Zook, or All Might, and he walks over there, and all fours, he walks over there and grabs All Might, lifts him up, puts him on his feet, dusts him off like, huh. As he walks away, everybody's like shocked. Like, what the heck just happened? As he is bigger than the I'm trying to think. He's bigger than a two All Mights put together, like All Might and Endeavor. Put them on each other's shoulders. That's how tall he is. As he like, huh? Well, I'm no monster. Go ahead. As All Might is it stunned, but then snaps out of it and starts attacking Zuko. As he like threw All Might away, like sending him into like the forest. As he runs away, he basically went back into, or like gave his hull, so he basically transformed into his doll form. As when all of this was going, the doctor says, huh, I see that you're a monster with it, Zuko Midoriya, or Zuko. Now, can't wait. As then time progressed, Zumi was happy that her boyfriend is back in her arms. But they don't, or she doesn't even want to tell Bakugo that. And may I remind you, this is Zumi, not Zuko. Two different people. Not the same one. So, Zuko, Zuko's company was called Zuko Corporation. I know, it's not a creative name. So he says, or actually he made a deal with the heroes to produce like support gear, or basically like his gear. Sorry about that. So basically his gear is a lot better than UA's gear. So he also may sometimes during his like free time, he actually creates a like spare stuff for him. Like he creates like spare body parts for his dolls to, like, he made a machine gun for him that could shoot like, well, like what any other machine guns would, shoot bullets. But they are called quark erasing bullets. So, and Zumi, or actually Overhaul, was it, or of course, sorry. So one of the, of course, one day he was gonna visit Overhaul as he runs into Ares, like kind of like the anime, but as he asked her is if that's okay with her, you, to become part of my family. He doesn't even, or he spoke so calmly as she was happy. So basically, when she heard Overhaul's is, where is she? Kind. Overhaul, or actually, Ares is so scared as she hides behind him as he tells her that, don't worry, Ares, you're gonna be part of my family. So, as Overhaul says, nice to meet you, Zuko Midoriya, or Zuko Hoku. The that girl is the bullets, or they're called Ares. Yes, I know, but as Overhaul knows that he doesn't want to pick a fight with a doll. Oh, as because Overhaul knows that Zuko's monstrous form is too great for him to, or great for Overhaul. So he's like, I know you, or as Overhaul says, I know you're a doll. As he looks at Shadow and says, but please hand over the Ares before things get too nasty. I was just here for her to join me, okay? To become a part of my family, okay? As Overhaul, oh, says, well, the deal's off. If to make bullets things, I need Ares. As he knows that, so he says, it's time for you to die. Or actually, Ares, or he told Ares to go, oh, or he actually has a limousine. So he basically, it was custom. So he basically asked Ares to get into that vehicle, as because his company already knows that Zuko is a real monster. They respect him as a human, as he always is honest with them. I know that if you work with me, the you and don't worry, as he, so everybody respects him like that. He gets respected by everybody. So Ares jumps into a car, and the driver knows that something's going down, so he drove away, or drove back to, as he basically tells the driver to go and keep Ares safe, okay, and treats her like kindly, eh? As he says, yes, sir. As Overhaul says, you're taking my ingredient away from me. As he says, well, your company will be, or your making those bullets is now getting out of your hands. So I'll give you two options: surrender now, or and join me, or let me, real me, come out and devour you. As he, so when, so Overhaul is like, decides to battle, and so all for one lost to a monster, and his soul got eaten. As he went into where Overhaul's lair thing, and he starts killing every villain that was under Overhaul's control, except for that big brawl guy. I forget his name. The one that, like, hold on, not in the villain suit. I was looking these up. It was, Not not Easter. No. I'm trying to look for that stuff. But I was trying to look for the. Let's. I'll just look up overhaul. Oh. Not or not his mask, but crew. Ooh, ooh. Basically, I was trying to look for it. So basically, that guy, he literally, because he knows that Dooku's tough to take out everybody else, and so did that big guy right there. And that guy, he was between all three of them. They were the only survivors left. And the old man, or actually, he looks at the old man's, like, his body, as he says, huh, well. As he used his power to wind him all the way to, like, that character. So basically now overhauls his crew, and most of them got defeated except for those three, because those three that he actually won, or actually scratch that. The overhauls his crew, all of them joined Zuku. Like, we want to live long. Okay? As because they know his power. So now Zumi was still training her quirk thing of fire manipulation. So now Nezu told her, your first actual pro hero job is, or actually was, after the, like, that ball, like, dodgeball thing. After that, Nezu asked Zumi to go, and of course Zumi and Mirio go to basically kill, or try to kill, her brother. But before, Of course, Zuko, or that's only on the pro heroes. So he tells Ares, let's get you out of those filthy clothes. Okay? As he was a millionaire, so he did like what a good friend does. So he bought her fresh, clean clothes with boots. As she went from being sad and scared all at once to being a proud girl to who basically she actually was treated so kindly as he even heck he says, oh, may I get you a lollipop thing, as he bought one for her, as she loves those. Like, so she got so cared of him. Like, he cares about her, so. And his other people. Because those other ones, like Overhaul's crew, became his crew. And they all know that he's a monster. And he actually used, or sometimes when he goes to bed, he's dreaming of him running away from himself. As sometimes. So then the real monsters came out. Like there was one that was him. It was bigger than a building. Like basically big. He's basically bigger than UA. As he's also bigger than MT Ladies' transformation size. Sorry. So, and I am making part 2 if necessary. So Zuko, who actually did, or actually he says, you pro heroes need to let me do it. As a monster says, hua, or no. So all those pro heroes are like, but you're a citizen. As Zuko says, I'll be fine. As he transforms into his monster form, runs to that inside of his chest thing, and man, oh man, he tore that monster to bits. Like, basically, gets killed. Own kind. So then he took his soul and ate it, and he was still the same, but his the next day, a even same size monster was terrorizing the city thing. So MT Lady's like, I can't go that big, because she's trying to, like, but her body can't handle it. So, but then they hear footsteps of boom, 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 boom. As they turn and looked at Zuko, or they turn around and sees a big monster with 5 eyes. Each one was like different attributes. Basically like Infinity Stones. Owns kind. But he goes and like he basically went and killed that monster. It's similar to Rams, I think. RIM. So basically, Zugu won that by killing that creature off. As his body even grew, so his body grew to a size that makes MT Lady's transformation form look like his toenail. Or his toe. Or like his pinky toe, more accurate term. So, at first, she was like, okay, you're a citizen, and but then when she saw like what he, or actually as her mind was kind of getting dirty, because when she saw Zuko, who's his monstrous form, she was like, she's embarrassed. And then when All Might told her that it's Zuko, or he's younger than you, as she just like did that to him, as he was big guy. So then the years have gone past just a little slightly. Aries got, like, she was treated as a princess with such a kind heart. Like, he was happy about it. As then his sister, or actually Inko told Zuko's sister. I lost that picture again. Gosh dang it. Not the doctor, but hers. So she told, or Inko told her that creature is her brother. Basically, Zumi's his brother. Like, basically, Inko decided to go visit with him. Man, Zuko was expecting. So he says, "Come on in." As he softly says, "Huh, do they need a drink?" As Inko was like, no, thank you. But I know that you're the monster that. As he says, okay. As he says, what's this about? As Inko tells him that you're not like the other monsters, aren't you? As he says, no, I'm not those weak monsters. As he says, my dream always wanted to be a hero. Just like All Might. But now, as he course, Inko was explaining to him that why she made a mistake of, as she tells him that we want you back. Yeah. Would the worshippers be disagreeing with that? After all, I am classed as a monster. Anyways, as Inko did not know that Zuko already knows that her worshipper, or her fellow worshippers, knows that Zuko is a monster, so he says, and I can't join UA because a certain someone might end up trying to kill me. As all, he says, All Might. He is. If he finds out that I'm a monster, that's why. As Inko can see why Zuko is scared of All Might, because one, he might end up getting killed by his favorite idol. So Inko says, well, Lisa could introduce you to your sister, as he says, I already have a sister? That seems wacky, even for me. As he says, and really calmly, as he says, I'll join, or I'll be like as your son, okay? I am doing awesome at my business, so as he tells her that about Aries, as I, because she, so I, because, and her grandfather, took her in, like, because he says, him and are pretty good friends. As he knows, as he, or Inko, was very proud of her son to making his own corporation. So Aries got a lot of attention from Zuko and her grandpa. As she asked Zuko if that's okay with him if he goes with him to see his sister. As Zuko says sure. As they drove back to her house, and when they walked in, Izumi was training in the living room, so she ended up, she didn't break anything, but she did, so she knocked over a vase, but Zuko's monstrous hand caught it. As he says, you're a wild child, aren't you, sister? Or actually, Inko tells her that no fight or no training in the house. As she says, okay. as Zumi was younger than her brother. So as Uku or Inko tells Zumi that this young gentleman is actually your brother, Zuku Midoriya. As Zumi was like, wait, so hold on, I'm forgetting that picture. As Zumi was like, wait, he's my brother? As Zuko says, yep. And this toddler is Aries. Anyways. So now, as she actually burst into tears because she heard about Zuku corporations and owned by Zuku, but meeting him in person is like meeting a famous person. So, and plus Zumi says, or actually a famous person would be like your brother or your sister. Well, Zumi, he is like, good to see you, as he as Aries asks Zuko why is she crying, as he looks at her and says, oh, she's crying because she never sees, or she actually never knew that she had a brother. As, of course, now Aries is now part of Midoriya's family. Basically, Aries Midoriya. Her grandpa knows that, as he tells Zuko that if he, or if Zuko became her, or actually he tells him that you are her big brother. You treated her kindly compared to that reckless kid named Overhaul. As he says, I know that, and I want you and Aries to be in my family. Okay? That's why, as they know that. So now, as at UA, Zumi is happier than Clam. Bakugo asks her, why are you so happy? As she tells him that she has her brother or she has a brother. Like, basically, so, as he says, who's your brother? Or some of them asked, well, it's a secret. As Zuko he as Zuko, who is like, looks like Zumi forgot her lunch box today. That's okay. As he is walking like normal person, so he's walking all the way to UA. As a average human. As Zuko, or no, actually, news reporters are like, how does it feel to be a saved All Might's life? Or, as he says, or when they turn around and they see Zuko, they know that, as he tells them that he is just here to drop something off for his sister. As he, or Zuko, or Zumi, who was his, so she came back as he gave her lunch. As he walks away, as All Might is like, So, as Nezu says, he is Zuko Midoriya. He is the owner of Zuko Corporations. Basically, they are really good, or he's really good with anyone that's not his enemies. So he's pretty good with us. Gave us like support items. And he's the top Kiriti, or it's a top Kiriti. So they're like, okay. But one day, a giant creature, like, basically like Cryptus, but that has a giant city on its back. Basically, and all the humans, or all those went behind bars, or like got captured as a monstrous figure with 20 arms. His eyes are, he basically looks like Zuko's, but not as accurate. Or basically like him. they said, "We will destroy you, humans." And they had like nuclear bombs on or not nuclear bombs, I forget those things. Underwater mines. The ones that like those big explosion ones. So then Zuko, or it was specially designed to kill whoever's trying to enter into his lair. But they forgot that Zuko can never die. So he says, well, they sent rocket launchers, they sent everything. Okay? So he ends up killing, or he basically, or they shot at him, or shot at Zuko. Okay? So, part 2.